Hi, everyone. My name's Cooper Knowlton, and I'm joined with my partner, Lee Bergstein. We are hopping on this afternoon to briefly chat about the end of Governor Cuomo's Executive Order 2028, which specifically deals with the suspension and tolling of statute of limitations for pending actions in New York State. I'm going to turn it over to Lee, who can give a little bit of background on what this specific order was all about and what it specifically means to have this order come to a close at the beginning of this week.
Yeah, so Executive Order 202.8 essentially put the pause button on a lot of new litigation and litigation that had just been filed prior to the pandemic. As Cooper said, that order has not been extended past November 3rd, which was this past Tuesday. It's now expired. I'm going to just show you the order to kind of walk you through a little bit because it's a little bit complicated, and we're going to talk about what it means in a little more detail. So what the order essentially did was give the governor the authority to suspend or modify certain statutes and laws. And for our purposes, what we're most concerned with is the tolling provision, which told any specific time limit for the commencement, filing, or service of any legal action, notice, motion, or other process or proceeding as prescribed by the procedural laws of the state. And you can see at the bottom over here, it says it's hereby tolled from the date of this executive order. And then that executive order was continued or renewed every month up until this past Tuesday. So for a number of different purposes, for instance, filing a new action, if you had to typically answer within 20 or 30 days, depending on how you were served, that was, according to the order, tolled. There are some scholars and attorneys who look at this and say, that's not what it means. It doesn't mean tolled. It means suspended. That's a really important distinction for those who have pending lawsuits or are thinking about starting lawsuits. So Cooper, I don't know if you want to talk about that kind of quickly.
Sure, yeah, it is an important distinction. The difference is really if a statute of limitations is tolled, the statute of limitations is really paused, right? So if you had something that was due, you needed to file it at some point this summer, and it's now November, that period of time is essentially tacked on. The clock starts again on November 3rd, November 4th, whenever exactly it is. It will start up again, and you have that period of time to now do what you need to do, whether it's respond to an action, whether it's start an action. If it is suspended, that essentially means that the clock has continued to run during this entire period of time, and it is suspended until essentially that day when things start up again, which is the beginning of this week. So if something needed to be filed over the summer, you really had to immediately file it this week, or you're potentially it's possible you're already too late if it was suspended and not told. But I know Lee, we've talked about it a little bit off camera, and I think we both think that it likely that there is some ambiguity, but we do think it likely will come out that the intention of the governor was to toll the statute of limitations and not suspend. But I guess we'll see over the next couple weeks or months.
Yeah, I mean, it could take months or years for us to get a definitive answer on that. After 9/11 and after Superstorm Sandy, there were some cases, but nothing that was obviously reflecting such a long period of time where the courts were completely shut down, where people couldn't, go visit their lawyers in their offices, couldn't collect evidence to provide to their lawyers. So I do think at the end of the day, the explicit wording of the statute will hold, which is tolled. But I will say for those of you who have pending lawsuits, I would err on the cautious side and try to get them,
For sure.
Filed as quickly as possible. If nothing else, it prevents the other side from filing a motion to make that argument, which will save you some money. I think at the end of the day, we're probably fine if you're relying on this tolling provision, but that does, obviously, you're taking some risk if you rely on it that way.
All right. Well, thanks, Lee. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to contact us, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Talk to you soon. Bye.